Oh,
Hi friends, welcome to this week's episode of Dead Funny University. This is the 10th episode in our Zelda semester. The decision that we came to, Chris and I, and mostly me to be totally honest, was that we were just going to continue with Zelda. As much as I want to talk about Mass Effect, we didn't see a lot of comments going, oh my god, I can't wait to see Kelsey talk about Mass Effect, and I don't want to burn you guys out on something that I love if none of you guys love it as well. So at this point, we're just going to continue with Zelda. Now, if the actual reality is, oh wait, I was super excited because I thought you were going to do that, put that in the comments so I can see it, and then maybe after we're done with the child era, we'll jump into Mass Effect. So let me know again what you want, because we will have a chance here in a few episodes at the end of the child era to make the same decision again, or make a different decision based on some of the feedback from you guys and what we're excited about doing. But we have heard you, and several of you have said that you really wanted me to watch this video. So we're going to watch this video. Chris is having internet issues. I know this is a shock to everybody who watches our channel and has heard him bitch about it repeatedly. So we won't have camera for him, but we will have comments. So Chris, I want to acknowledge you and invite you into the conversation. How are you doing this evening?
It's a great fucking question. That is a great question. As you've already pointed out with the constant internet issues. It's and most of the people that watch us know about it because they go to tune into my streams and they've been all part of my stress testing. So whenever a stream notification goes off every 5 minutes because Chris has to test this, then test this, then test this, then test this. It's been rough, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, please, for the love of all internet. Hopefully soon. But other than that, Zelda, super pumped. Majora's Mask is easily my second favorite game overall.
Mm-hmm.
Also, pretty much hands down the hardest Zelda game in the entire series. A lot of people got frustrated with this game and gave up on it due to its time constraint. It is one of those things where actually had a conversation with JoJo about this, which, by the way, since this was a dead funny topic of conversation, he did say he would get a Zelda tattoo.
He would?
Yep. He said Zelda would be second on his list. I can't remember what was first on his list, but Zelda was second on his list. Or Mario. Mario was first on his list.
Oh, I could so see JoJo with a Mario tattoo. That makes me warm, fuzzy, and happy. That's adorable. I like that.
Yeah, we had that conversation. I want to say it was actually on the podcast, but if it was, you'll hear that conversation, and then you'll also hear this DFU. So, but we talked about that, which I thought was pretty cool because I was like, oh damn it, Kelsey's not here. I was like, but I gotta remember to bring it up with JoJo about the tattoo because we talked about that. And it was funny too. He's like, "Wait, you guys are talking about me on the DFU?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Would you get a tattoo? Would it be Zelda? Zelda, right? Zelda."
You tried to lead the witness a little bit there.
Oh, absolutely. I'm playing for keeps. Fuck that. Absolutely.
I'm glad you were wrong though.
Okay. But yeah, no, he even gave up on Majora's Mask. I can't remember if he said he went back and beat it or not, but he gave up on Majora's Mask due to the timing constraint.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people really did not like the timing constraint on the game. So I thought it was interesting, but to be fair, they've never done it again. So maybe what I thought was interesting as a kid was extremely horrible feedback for them. So I don't know.
I was gonna say, you appear to be the odd one out, which kind of fits with you in my head. Like you're the one who played The Witcher for Gwent, so yeah, you're the one who enjoyed and finished Majora's Mask. So
it's so good.
You're the weird guy.
So good. But anyways, so Majora's Mask. I've talked to a couple people, whether it be like in Discord or my 3-minute streams that I can do before my internet dies. About different things that they would like to see whenever it comes to these Zelda, because a lot of you are big Zelda fans and you're vocal. So we should be more vocal in the comments.
Yeah,
you're vocal.
If you're telling Chris, there's no way for me to know, and there's no way for me to come back to it. So really, the best place is in the comments.
I know for this particularly, it was more about not wanting to spoil anything. So
That's fair.
I will
That's
give
fair.
you guys praises for that, to not be
I do
assholes
appreciate that.
and spoil stuff for Kelsey when we're actively trying to do what we can to put content out. But that being said, a lot of you asked for it, so here it is. We are actually going to be doing the video Majora's Mask Terrible Fate. A little bit of setup for this for Kelsey. We've talked about this before, so it should ring some bells. But this is the video that I told you that is not made by Nintendo, but
Oh,
made by a group of animators who wanted to pitch that Nintendo needs to make a Zelda animated movie, if not even a TV show.
oh, okay.
So this
That's
is
what this is.
this is not done by Nintendo, but that does not mean that this is amateurish in the slightest. This animation is fucking amazing, and I guarantee you this shit took a long fucking time.
I was gonna say, just
Did
what
it
I can
result in a
see
Zelda
looks
movie? No.
amazing.
Right, exactly. But did it result in a Zelda movie? Unfortunately not. Hopefully, maybe some point down the road we'll get there. Maybe. I'd be okay with it, especially a full CGI animated one. Absolutely. Live action, please do not do that. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. Don't do that. I after the remake came out, so many people were trying to talk Square Enix into a live action 7 movie, and I was like,
Please
please,
no.
God, no. Please no. I was like, Advent Children is great. Let's just leave it at that. Like
Yeah.
CGI full movie, I'm okay with that. I don't need an actual dude running around like I'm Cloud. No, I'm good.
He's not gonna have the right voice. He's not gonna have the right physique. There's gonna be something that's gonna piss you off. It's not a good
Oh, for
idea.
sure. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. So, I mean, I'm already mad about certain voice actors in the fucking game that's already CGI'd, much less fucking actual actors. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, moving back on to Zelda. But yeah, so super pumped about this. Majora's Mask is, like I said, my second favorite game. Probably, I would have to say Majora is probably like extremely high up there. He'd probably be in my top 3, but I just can't think of who the second one would be over him. So he could be number 2 out of my overall favorite video game villains. Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Obviously, Sephiroth off top in the charts there, but yeah, he's up there. I mean, Kefka's up there too, though. Kefka's so. It'd probably be those 3, and Kefka might be over Majora. I don't know. It's very close. It's very close. I don't know. Anyways, the mask itself, I love the artwork to this game. The simple aspect of this game, I guess, to kind of give a quick rundown with this whole mask situation, what I'm talking about, we'll get more deeper into it as we go, is really cool concept they put into where there's all these masks in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and they all give you different abilities to do different stuff throughout. Like, for instance, there's this one that's like, it's so stupid, but it's like a headband with bunny ears on it, and it actually made you run faster in the game. Like, you would actually
Not
run
jump
faster.
higher, run faster.
Nope, run faster, exactly.
Okay.
So stuff like that, nothing too game breaking. But the cool part was, and a lot of people didn't know, is like if you gathered all the masks at the end of the game, you got this one mask called the Fierce Deity Mask, and we'll talk way more about that when we get there. But just want to put that little spoiler tip out there. But Fierce Deity is probably the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in Zelda in my life. So
So
I'm super excited for you to see that.
I have a question for you because I keep hearing you
Cool.
say something, and I'm not sure if it's a misspeak, a mishear, or I like need clarification one way or the other. I keep hearing you say you need to gather all the mask, which to me would imply that it's all parts of one large mask, or are you actually
Well,
saying you need to gather all the masks and then once you have
masks.
everything, just one?
Yeah. There's like 50 of them.
There's
There's
50.
different masks.
Okay, there we go. I couldn't even that second
There
time when
you
you
go.
tried to say it for clarification, I did not hear the S on the end. Okay. So there are 50 different masks, and once
Yep.
you have all of them, then you can unlock this big great one. That
Yep.
does
You get it
okay.
right before you go to the big boss fight. So
Cool. Good. Okay. Thank you. Wanted to make sure I understood.
nope, super cool. And then one of the things that I can tease you about, because it's really not spoiler related, because it literally happens right off the bat, is that there are actually three masks in the game that actually change you into a completely different creature.
Ooh. Is one of them a
Mhm.
frog?
Nope. But once again, because this really isn't a spoiler, because once you see the first one, it's kind of obvious that there's only three other races, but it's the 3 races in the game. The
Oh,
Wooden
yeah,
Deku
that
people,
would have been a
the
better
Goron and
choice.
the Zora.
Okay.
Yeah. Being a Zora was probably my favorite part of this game. I loved being a Zora and being able to swim fucking fast as shit. Oh my god, it's so cool. Did it make the water temple any less aggravating? No, it didn't. It
That's
didn't.
exactly what I was about to ask you, actually, was
I
whether
knew
or not
you
that
were.
helped.
Yep. Didn't at all. No, they found new ways to put in other things because you were a Zora just to be an asshole. It was great. So, yeah. But anyways, we should go ahead and jump into this, and then we can kind of do our little introduction. But I guess to kind of do the last lead up here, because this kind of leads directly into the beginning. This is the only Zelda because of the timeline. Because once this came out, this timeline technically didn't exist. But because of the timeline, we are officially 7 years younger again before the events of Ocarina of Time. Things are now in place to make sure that those events don't happen. So with Zelda not needing us in Hyrule, Link is now on his way to Tamriel to be, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I have to look at it to make sure. If I'm wrong, you can definitely yell at me in the comments. That's fine. It's been a little while since I've known the map name, because you're usually in Hyrule in every other freaking game. But let's see, like the one game where you're outside of Hyrule. Anyways, which I actually read a different post about that. Is very interesting that Hyrule almost never looks identical in every single game.
Yeah, you've mentioned
There's a
that
lot of
before,
theories about that.
which is
Yeah, there's a
interesting.
lot of theories about that, like whether or not different games or different parts of Hyrule are different, or it's Hyrule but in a different timeline, as far as like an altered dimension version of Hyrule. Anyways, we won't get into that right now. But you are on your way to find Navi. That is the big thing to remember before we jump into this, because you're going to see Navi right off the bat, and then some other stuff you're not going to really recognize. So
we're on our way to find Navi? Huh.
we're on our way to find Navi. So Link is on young Epona, young Link, and we are strolling through the woods, trying to find where Navi is at.
Okay, that seems bizarre. Got it. I am ready whenever you are.
Here, at the end of things,
Ooh, that's bug-eyed.
I can still feel its power.
I love that mask so much, though.
I'm sorry I insulted it.
It looks so good.
When I found it, I could sense the doom of a dark omen brewing.
God, this is pretty. Holy crap.
Right?
Oh, what's the creepy thing coming down the wall? Oh, it's just gears, okay.
And now, that imp has it.
Navi.
Oh, I didn't know there were red ones.
It wasn't until this game.
Oh my god, this is beautiful. Holy crap. Who's this? I recognize the music.
Familiar. Yep.
I love it!
See the Mario mask?
Yeah, I was noticing that. Now this isn't supposed to be Zelda, right? You're
What do
not
you
telling
mean,
me
the
anything.
person?
Yeah, the person's not Zelda.
No.
Or,
no.
sorry, not Link. That's what I meant. God, I'm
Yeah,
an
no,
idiot.
not
Sorry.
Link.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Especially go with the Zelda head.
I really fucked up.
No. He is the happy mask selling man, is what he's called in the game.
Ah. Aw.
and its power.
Holy
And what a
shit.
great setup for our villain.
Holy crap. Okay, yes, tell me more. Whoo. That was
So
so good. That was so
so
good.
good, right?
Oh my
So
god.
good. I love it. Oh, it's so good.
It's
Yep.
beautiful. Like, it was genuinely, those forest scenes were breathtaking. That
Right? It was
frog looked
beautiful.
so realistic.
Hmm.
Loved it.
So one of the cool things that I want to point out, because you do see it in the game, and I mean, I could wait till we get there, but once again, it's not like plot driven.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that they added in for the fans was that carving on the tree. That's like Link's first indication that Navi is with, as in the game. So Majora's Mask is the name of the game. Majora is actually the name of the mask. The kid's name is Skull Kid. That's what they call him, the Skull Kid.
They
Why?
call this
I don't know.
poor, they call it, how terrible, how shit-tastic, what the heck, this poor kid has had how much of his life, and I'm gonna guess life force because, evil, like, stolen away, and the only name they're gonna give him is Skull Kid? Fuck those people.
So yeah, he is a woodland imp. And yeah, so you saw him kind of just like living in the forest, freezing in the rain. So in the game, what was kind of more of a sad aspect when you saw that part was he actually cuddles up with the fairies for warmth when they first find him in the rain. Because they're also cold and being in the rain. So they like cuddle up together and he's like holding on to both of them. So in this game, that other fairy, which for the life of me, I can't remember the name, it is a boy fairy, is supposed to be Navi's brother. And I'm looking up the name right now because for the life of me, I can't remember it because it's usually always just Navi is who you deal with.
Balls of light have genders, and we care?
Tail. Yeah, Tail is the fairy in Majora's Mask. He is the younger brother of Tatl, which is what they called Navi in this game. But basically, the actual storyline afterwards was why is Link in the woods? He's looking for Navi because he feels lost without Navi. And then Tatl is the sister, but it's supposed to be. So things were kind of redone with the storyline, but this is the information. So
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so apparently, yeah, there's boy fairies, girl fairies. I mean, not that I really give a shit, but yeah, just thought it was important to point that out because she does say brother all the time, and then the sister and shit like that. So
Is that
versus
why
just
he's
calling each other's names.
is that why he's red, or is he red for a different
Could
reason?
be. They never really actually discussed the difference in color.
Okay.
And what was also interesting was that Navi was also a different color. She's actually blue in
I
Ocarina of Time,
I
like
was
like a
about to
light
actually
blue.
ask that question because I feel
Mhm.
like all the ones you sent me, she was blue. So, okay,
Yep.
got it.
Yep. And she was yellow in this one. So they just kind of changed the color of the fairies. I mean, and once again, even whenever you collected the fairies in game, some of them are red, some of them look pink, like the ones you capture in the bottle and use for healing. Yeah, so they
Huh.
change the color of those all the time too. So, but yeah.
Interesting.
So basically, game opens and we've got Link slowly riding through the woods. Skull Kid, who is now has the mask on, sees Link and sees that he's kind of like tired and weary and stuff like that, and ends up spooking Epona, which knocks Link off, and then he steals Epona and then rides away.
Oh, dang.
So you start off the game running out of that forest and winding up in that in the new map and trying to figure out where the hell you're at and what we're looking for, da 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 da, and all this other stuff. So once again, keeping in mind that cool theory about the whole 5 stages of grief with
Oh,
this
yeah.
game.
Highlighted in my notes.
So what you saw with the Happy Mask Selling Man was that he was in what is called the Clock Tower. The main town in this game is called Clock Town. And every time around this year, they have this festival that goes off right at midnight. But something is a little off this year, and it's that the moon looks like it is extremely close to the Earth for their festival. So some people are worried the moon's going to crash into the Earth. Other people think that it's just a weird thing that's going on this year and it will slowly go back out to where it's supposed to be, so on and so forth. A lot of people don't really know what to make of it yet at this point.
That's
You obviously already know by hearing conversations that we have that time clock that we've talked about, so on and so forth. So you kind of get the gist of the moon. But yeah, it's a really cool, and that's one of the stages that people talk about is the denial
I was gonna
that the moon is
say.
coming in. Yeah,
I,
see,
I
you're already
absolutely
getting on.
love that because, the thing that astral bodies are known for doing is just deciding all of a sudden they're going to
Fixing
go in the
themselves.
reverse
Yeah.
direction. And they're just like, oh, so sorry. I just fucked off for a minute. Give me a second. I'll go back. Like, not.
It's one of those things where it's like if you leave it alone, it'll fix itself, you know? Like, oh shit. God damn it, Bob. I fell out of orbit again.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a second.
We're not autopilot. Fucked it up. So sorry.
Anyways. But yeah, super funny. So you actually do meet a lot of interesting NPCs. I think they really stepped it up in this game with the different NPCs because there's like street dancers and performers, and you got your normal construction guys who are setting everything up for the festival, and like even going into all the different buildings and stuff. There's all these different shops and bars and everything else, and like every NPC is kind of different. Where in the old one, the NPC or in the Ocarina of Time, they were different, but they didn't really feel like alive. Like for instance, like whenever they move, they kind of stayed in the same place. Like these people will move all over the fucking place, which is really really cool. And there's a lot of interaction, and with the life of the mask that I was talking about, a lot of these people lead you to getting these masks, which is really really fucking cool. So you get to learn like backstories and stuff. Like for one that I can go ahead and give away because it's not. A lot of the masks have nothing to do with plot. A lot of them have zero to do with plot. They're just more of a way to make the game longer for people who want to be completionists and go get all the different masks.
Quick question.
So, go ahead.
Are the bulk of these are all of these masks something that will actually like buff you in some way, or are a bunch of them just
Nope.
basically collectibles and only some of them buff you, like or change your form?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the only form changing ones are the Goron mask, the Deku mask, and the Zora mask are the only three form changing ones. That's because it's the only three races in the game at this current time. In the later Zeldas, we've actually gotten the Rudos, which are bird people, but once again,
Yes.
we'll get to them when we get there. So at this current time, it's the only races in the game. And then you've got certain masks that do help out. Like there was this one stupid fucking mask, and it was a bomb mask. So you literally put a bomb on your face and you could explode it to like blow shit up, but it would also damage you in the process. So
Yes.
there's that.
Because
Yeah,
bombs on your face typically damage you. What the hell?
Yeah. You would think so.
What the
You would
fuck
think
is up
so.
with this game?
Which is actually funny that you bring that up because it's something that I've always wanted to show you, and I know we talked about it at the end of the last semester. But the Machina Bridge series of Final Fantasy VII, there's that scene where Barret is fighting his best friend Dane, and in the Machina Bridge, he does the limit burst where he does the big shot on him, and at the end of it, because it's a comedy series, he's like. I'm okay, Barret. And Barrett's like, oh, cool. I'm glad you survived that grenade shot directly to your face and took absolutely zero damage from it. It's so fucking funny.
Plot armor, my friends.
Exactly. But anyways, so like for instance, there's this one mask that you can get that allows you to dance. Like, because Link actually can't dance, and it's like more of like the mesmerizing body movement type dancing stuff. There's these three chicks that do this dancing. They talk about how they learned it from their master. So then they start adding other shit into the game where it's like on a specific day when the moon is in this specific spot in the sky, you will be able to go to this specific place and see this guy out there dancing. And if you see him and talk to him, it gives him peace knowing that like his dancers are still dancing in his memory, and then his soul kind of just forms into this mask that you put on, and it covers up Link's face and has like a little version of his head on it. And then you can go in front of the girls and then do the dance with them, and then they see him and get all excited about it, and so on and so forth. Yeah, like I said, some of it literally doesn't mean anything to the story at all. Like literally nothing. So
But why did they build in why was it necessary for Link to be incapable of dancing in order for the rest of
don't
this
know.
subplot to happen?
Don't know. There's a lot of
Okay.
stuff that's just weird. For instance, Link can't hold his breath for longer than 3 seconds. That's an interesting mechanic that's been almost in every single Zelda until the newer ones.
That's
So
horrific, given that they have a water
yeah,
temple you have to beat every time.
yep, exactly. And then, although one of the cool things they did add into a Zelda game is that if you jump from a high, like a very high distance, Link's thing is that he can always roll. So if you time the rollout every time you go to hit the ground, you literally take 0 fall damage. Pretty cool.
I mean,
Unless you suck at timing it and then you kill yourself. But yeah, there's that too.
yeah, but there are multiple people that have survived from jumping out of airplanes and stuff like that when their chutes didn't open using that exact tactic. So, as much as I want to be like, well, that's not realistic, it kind of is.
Is. That's the one thing I'm not willing to test drive because that's the ultimate game over. So I'll let other people have that story. I'll not. Yeah,
You
just
wouldn't.
not.
You won't skydive?
No, fuck no, absolutely not. Kelsey, it literally took your wedding for
That's
me to get on
true.
a
That's
fucking
true. That's
plane.
true.
I'm not
Yeah.
skydiving. It's not happening.
I
Like
would
if it
totally
wasn't for
skydive.
that, I wouldn't even still have probably been on a plane yet. To be fair, I love flying now. But before then, no, it was not going to happen. No. And skydiving is never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like if all of a sudden you and Scott are like, hey, we're going to fucking do some crazy shit in order to get Chris skydive, I will gladly fucking watch you guys from home on video or something. It's not happening.
I'm actually kind of disappointed because Scott's not super into it, and so I'm like, no, I would totally just like wake up one morning and be like, let's go skydiving, and be like having skydived at the end of the day, like just go. Does that make sense? Like no planning, no preparation, no chance to tell anybody, no chance to freak out, just like get in the thing, go, jump, and then have it done. Like I would be all over that, but my spouse is just like, yeah, that's no.
That's crazy.
Absolutely not. And so I might
And
have to
he's
do that
correct.
by myself or find some crazy person when they get married and be like, hey, you know what a really cool bachelorette party would be? Skydiving.
Nope. It's crazy, and he's correct. Completely got your back on this one, Scott.
Oh.
Anyways, but so yeah, like I said, a lot of the masks are kind of they don't really mean anything. I mean, the bunny-eared one, as funny as that sounds, it was actually very useful in the game to
Yeah.
get from place to place, especially whenever you don't have Epona. To get it though was actually pretty interesting. So with the moon coming down, the guy that's running the chicken farm there, he actually is very sad that his chickens aren't going to hatch. So there's this one mask that you can get that allows you to do this whole like marching thing with your ocarina, and it's like a small version of the speed up time song, and so you do this march playing the speed up time ocarina, and the chickens march behind you and they all turn from chicks to chickens. And so whenever they all turn to chickens, he gets super happy, and then he gives you the mask, and that's how you get the bunny mask.
That is super cute. I have a question about the bunny ear mask.
Hit me.
So, how confident are you that it's bunny ears?
Very.
Okay, because horse ears and bunny ears might look similar, but bunnies don't make sense for running fast, but horses do, especially if they took Epona away from you. Is there any possibility it's not bunny ears?
No, zero
Okay.
possibility.
Okay.
It is. I'm pretty sure it even has like a little bunny face on it. Yeah, it does. It's specifically in a game called the Bunny Hood
Okay, that's fine.
Mask.
I just wanted to check
Yeah.
because, I mean, think about it. Think about the horses that you've seen. You've seen horses, right, at some point in your life?
No, I've never seen a horse before in my life. It's crazy. I didn't even know they existed until just now.
Fuck off. I
They
know
blew my
people
mind.
who haven't, so you dick. Like, it was a legit question. I don't know what you do with your time. Like, horse ears and
Not
bunny
look at
ears look
horses.
fairly similar. Well, you're missing
Ah,
out, and you're a dick.
you think so? Well, I mean, maybe just the mask that I'm looking at right now, obviously, is probably a little bit more dramatic because it's in a game. But I think so. I feel like bunny ears are like fucking long as shit. Like, I mean, I know horse ears are big, but I don't know. I don't
Ultimately,
know.
yeah, I think bunny ears and horse ears, I think, like, just based on the shape. I'm gonna put like examples up on this video next to me so that way like I've got evidence of like this is why I think these look fairly similar. But yeah, it was just I was curious.
So these are the real things that we get down to business on, folks.
Yeah.
Right here. This is
hmm
this is what the DFU is all about.
Hey, we
You
promise at
guys
least
thought we were learning about Zelda? No.
this
This
is
is
our
an
second
animal
tangent. We always promise one, you got a second one.
Congrats.
Be happy.
Anyways.
I've started labeling them in the videos, by the way.
That's great. That's great because when the DFU comes out, I listen to it. But there's sometimes like I do it whenever I'm at work, so I'm not able to watch it the entire time, and I haven't seen that actually pop up.
Yeah,
That's
I'll label
great.
the tangents.
Tangent number 1.
Yep, that's exactly what I have.
That's great. That's fantastic. But yeah. So like I said, there's cool little. Try to actually look up all the masks too, and get like a little bit of a refresher on how to get all of them because I know some of them were interesting little stories like that. I think the majority of them you for sure had to do something for each and every single one of them. It was obviously the fucking main pain in the ass in the game. It's like I need this mask to get here, but in order to get this mask, I have to get this mask first. Fuck, like it's just an endless fucking cycle. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But yeah. So like I said, not all of them really do too much. Some of them are just more just like throwaway things. But yeah, like I said, it was just more of an up to kind of what you wanted to do, in the game. Because if I remember correctly, I don't think it was a requirement to have all the masks to beat the game. I think it was a requirement to have them all to get the Fierce Deity mask. I think without all those, you couldn't get the Fierce Deity mask.
And is
So
the
I could
logic
be wrong
behind
about that.
that basically if you're a good hero, you're engaged with the people and you're helping the people with their problems and there is no problem too small kind of thing? Is that like the logic or do you think the logic's just
Kinda,
we want to make it hard?
but usually in games like that, that logic is like a hero doesn't also seek a reward, where you get rewarded for every single one of these. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's
in
true.
most games, especially like MMOs, like Final Fantasy 14, for instance, like I'm doing dumb shit all the time for a random fucking NPC that I've never seen before in my fucking life, and they're all like, "All right, dude, cool, fuck off, thank you," like, and that's it. And like versus giving me like a mask that can make me fucking actually run fucking faster, which I don't know who would ever give that shit away. Like, I would have kept that for my fucking self. Like, cool, you made my chickens hatch. All right, dude, fucking kick rocks. Get the hell out of here. Like, you know what I mean?
It's really entertaining for me and like for Scott because when I play video games, I'm like, don't care who I have to help. There's no problem too small. I don't care if I get paid for it. I'm just here to help you, like to help people in general. And I am just generous with my time and energy. When we play
Mhm.
D&D, it's like, oh, hey, will you help me with this? I'm like, how much are you paying me? And I go full
That's
mercenary
funny.
on it. Like, they're just like,
That's
well, you'll
funny.
need horses to get there and you need to buy horses. I'm like, fuck that noise. No, if you're not paying me, I am not helping you. Get me jobs that are only going to pay me.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a per diem. Oh man, that's
Exactly.
great.
I need to
That's
be able to
great.
report this back to HR. So like, can you just give me a spreadsheet so I can just kind of write everything out? I want to know that you're paying for my expenses. Yeah. That's the best
That's
way to
always
ruin a campaign is to have an accountant start doing per diems.
that's for sure. Funny thing about that was like growing up, it was always interesting for my parents to watch me and my brother play games because we were always the opposite. I was always the good guy, the paladin. My brother was always the bad, evil guy. In every game we played, especially when we started getting to these new age games where we got stuff like Fallout and Oblivion and Fable and stuff like that, where there was actually karma based systems in the game. Like,
hmm
oh yeah. And I started to see how stereotypical the evil versus good shit was, where it's like, here I am saving fucking everybody. I'm constantly dying from hunger and infections and shit, barely have any fucking money. Meanwhile, my brother owns fucking towns because he just went in and fucking killed everybody, has all the fucking money he wants in the world, owns most of the fucking shops and shit. And I'm like, bro, being hard or being good is fucking hard. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I walk in, sheriff's like, hey, better not fucking do anything in my town. My brother walks in, sheriff's like, hey, better not, blows his head off, and he's like, well, I'll just put on his outfit. I'm the new sheriff now. And I'm just like,
See, I don't appreciate it when a game like reinforces that whole nice guys finish last thing, because that's not accurate. Like at some point you become known for being good and nobody trusts the bad guy and they like actively run him out of town and they harass him and stuff like that and they keep you
That's
around and you do
true.
get benefits. So
It did do that to an extent, but the amount of gratitude you got for it was extremely small. Like I would walk in and somebody would be like, "Hey, thanks so much. Here's 100 caps," and it's like, "Great, 100 caps. No, that's new sniper rifle that I want's like fucking 10,000. So this is a
uh-huh.
drop in the fucking bucket to where
That's fair.
my brother walks in and everybody runs away and cowards from him, but he can still chase them down and kill them and then take everything they have.
Yep.
So
That's
doesn't
fair.
really talk about it. So yeah, I mean they tried to implement that system, but it's still more of a kick in the fucking face while you're already down on the ground. So it's like, all right, sleep. I mean, are you sure you don't need this? Because you apparently need it more than I fucking do.
Mhm.
So but yeah, so like I said, we're kind of getting close to the end here. I think we did a good little opener, especially the main thing was the video, because I know a lot of people wanted you to see that, and definitely think
That's
it was
amazing.
very much worth it. But yeah, just the main thing to keep in mind with this one is, like I said, where we're coming from in the timeline, why we're here, and then, like I said, the 5 stages of grief is a big deal because, like I said, I think that's a very interesting theory. It's never been like Nintendo has never once came out and was like, "Hey guys, you're onto it." This never happened. To any theory I've told you, it's never happened once. And Nintendo has only validated the timeline because they created it.
Mhm.
So other than that, we've got nothing. Which sometimes I do like when people do that. Sometimes I do like whenever the companies are more like, maybe, like I do like
Who
whenever
knows? Yeah.
who knows? But then you always have the people like me where I'm all like, they're just waiting to hear the very good theory and be like, yeah, how'd you guess it, dude? Fuck, man, you fucking figured it out. And meanwhile, they're like, we have no idea how this happened, but we'll let the fucking fans tell us how these fucking dots connected.
Mhm. They'll figure it out.
All that free labor that everybody's putting in, dude.
Yeah. Public think
But
tank.
exactly. But so yeah, like I said, keep those in mind. You got to see Majora firsthand, which was pretty cool.
Terrifying.
Like I said, really, really fucking awesome villain. And like I said, the main overall, which I don't know, maybe this says something deeper with me as far as like a video gamer, because the whole like tone of this game is like doom and gloom. Death is literally like above you the entire fucking game. And that's kind of how Final Fantasy VII was too. It was just doom and gloom, death all over the place. I don't know.
Jeez.
Maybe that says something about me as a gamer. I don't know. But yeah, so like I said, definitely just keep those things kind of going on in your head whenever we're going through the story, and I think you're going to really enjoy what this game has to put out. Like I said, as it currently stands, it is my second favorite Zelda, but I mean, they're extremely fucking close. It's not like by a landslide at all. Like these are literally my favorite two Zeldas that we're being able to get back to back.
Excellent. Well, I think that will wrap it up. We will, I imagine, get more into the plot next time. Is that correct? Okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Then keep your eyes out for the next episode of Dead Funny University. And in the meantime, please come and interact with us in the comments below. Tell us what you liked about this class. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us if we explained anything wrong or if there was something that I missed in that little video that we watched at the beginning. Anything that you want to have to say, please jump down there, including, oh my God, Kelsey, I was so excited to see you teach Mass Effect. If any of you think that, I would love to hear it because none of you said that. So I don't think any of you think that. And it's fine. I'm definitely not guilting you. I don't have enough emotional sway over any of you to guilt you, and I'm very aware of that. But we do have Twitter or Twitch links, and you're welcome to join us down there. We'd love to hang out with you there as well. And we will see you in the next class of Dead Funny University. Bye, friends. Tell me when he gets the mask off at the end of the game that, like, he gets some of who he is back.
I guess you'll find out at the end of the game.
Chris! My heart!